Good Day Grade 11, St. Thomas of Aquinas. This will be the very last video that you will watch about Earth and Life Science. We come to an end of our subject, but before that, let's pray first. Once again, good day grade 11 St. Thomas of Aquinas. As I have said, this will be the last video that you will watch about Earth and Life Science. I hope you learn well with our lesson. But before that, let us do first a recap of lesson number 2 for unit number 3 of week number 4. Our last topic is all about evolutionary evidences that is used for classifying organisms. You have learned the different ways or the different evidences that the scientists base to classify organisms, which is all rooted in evolution. Now, our very last topic for Earth and Life Science will be a part of a new and last unit, and that is interaction and interdependence. Okay? For this last unit of our subject, we have only one lesson, and that is biotic potential and environmental resistance. This is very timely that we are experiencing environmental problem and because of the disease called COVID-19. For this lesson, we have one objective, and that is categorize the different biotic potential and environmental resistance, exempligrity, diseases, availability of food, and predators that affect population explosion. Okay, but before we start with our lesson, I hope that you have already your learning packet so you can follow me through as I discuss this topic. Now, let us first define what is biotic potential. Biotic potential is the ability of a population of a particular species to propagate under ideal environmental conditions. Sufficient food supply, no diseases, and no predators is called biotic potential. Okay? There are primary factors that determine the biotic potential: an organism's rate of reproduction and its litter size, the number of offspring produced at one birth. Okay? So yung biotic potential, ito yung kakayahan or potential ng isang organism na makapagparami ng kanyang lahi. Okay? So tayo as humans, we are now on our what we call population explosion. Meron ding nangyayaring ganyan, population explosion, but sometimes mostly population degradation sa mga other organisms. Okay? Ito ay nangyayari kung walang disease, walang gaanong predator, at enough yung food supply sa isang area or sa isang habitat ng organism. Okay? So, mas nagiging way ito upang makapagparami sila ng kanilang lahi because merong enough supply. Wala namang kakain sa kanila, walang mga predators na kalaban, at wala ring sakit na tatama cause a death for their population. Okay? Another one, ang nagdetermine din ito is yung kakayanan ng isang organism na mag-produce ng offspring sa isang beses lang na panganganak. Okay, for example, sa dogs, pwede yung 4 or 5. Sa cats, ganun din. Sa pigs, marami. Okay, ito rin yung nagsasabi kung ano yung kakayahan nilang makapag-produce ng ganung kadaming organisms. Okay? So, the biotic potential among organisms varies from species to species. Similar to humans, many large mammals produce one offspring per year or breeding season. On the other hand, insects produce thousands of offsprings per year. Therefore, large organisms have relatively low biotic potential than smaller organisms. So, tama naman na kapag tayo yung mga mas malalaking organisms, limited lang yung ating pinoproduce na offsprings. So, sa humans, mga once a year, ganon. O kaya naman once in 2 years, once in 3 years. Ganun din sa ibang mammals, pwedeng 2, 4, ganun lang. But for insects, libo-libo yung na-hatch na eggs nila every year. Okay, so that's why larger organisms have smaller or lower biotic potential compared to smaller organism which has large or bigger biotic potential. Okay? So, for example, on the average, spiders are capable of producing hundreds of offspring at a time. Cats and dogs can produce 4 to 8 offsprings at a time, and humans can only produce 1 to 3 offsprings at a time. Okay? The different biotic potential of organisms can be attributed to several factors such as survival rate of their offspring, frequency of reproduction, and reproductive lifespan. Okay? So meron tayong tatlong factors kung bakit nga ba sa humans, isa-isa lang, one at a time, sa cats 4 to 8, sa spiders 8, sa insects thousands. Okay, yung tatlo na yan, una yung survival rate of their offspring. Kasi yung dun sa may sa mga mararamihang nagre-reproduce, maaaring kaya sila maraming magre-reproduce dahil iilan lang din naman dun yung makakapag-survive. Okay, sa atin kasi talaga makakapag-survive kung isa lang. Okay, kung marami, may hirapan naman. Okay, yung iba naman kaya na marami nagre-reproduce o yung pinoproduce dahil kapag hindi marami yung na-reproduce, kakaunti yung bilang nila na magsusurvive. Okay? Pangalawa, frequency of reproduction. Kung gaano kadalas mag-reproduce. Okay? So kasi tayo kapag or sa mga iba pang mammals or other organisms, once na nabuntis na, hindi na pwedeng magkaroon pa ng another fertilization. Okay? Unlike sa ibang hayop na i-hatch kasi nila yung eggs, so pwede pang magkaroon ulit ng another set of reproduction. Okay? And reproductive lifespan. Okay? Kung gaano nga ba katagal yung pag-conceive or pag-develop ng isang organism. For example kasi, sa mga ants, mabilis lang mag-hatch yung kanilang mga eggs or sa mga insects. Well, for atin, we will wait for 9 months, di ba? Ganong katagal. Or sa ibang hayop, may mga duration din kung gaano katagal made-develop yung bata bago sila maipanganak. So talagang matagal din yung biotic, mababa talaga yung biotic potential. Okay? So yun yung biotic potential, kakayahan na makapagpa-reproduce ng organisms. Okay? Next one, environmental resistance and carrying capacity. The factors that limit the biotic potential of an organism are called environmental resistance. These factors include abiotic and biotic factors that limit the organisms from endlessly increasing its population. Okay? Biotic factors include predation, competition, parasitism, and diseases. Abiotic factors include climatic conditions, fire, and temperature. Okay? Kung may biotic potential na siyang nagsasabi kung gaano kadami yung na-reproduce ng isang organism, ang environmental resistance ang kumokontrol or naglilimit dun sa kakayahan ng organism na makapag-reproduce. Okay, sila yung mga factors ng dahilan kung bakit hindi makapag-reproduce ng marami or kung bakit bumababa yung isang population. Okay? So, meron niyang dalawang factors. Una yung biotic factors. Okay, for example, predation. So, nauubos yung lahi dahil kinakain ng mga predators yung mga prey. So, hindi na nakakapag-reproduce ng bagong organisms. Competition. Sa sobrang daming ng kakompetensya dun sa isang lugar for the limited resources, hindi nila kakayanin na makapag-reproduce dahil mamamatay sila. Okay? Parasitism. Okay? So, pwedeng hindi makapag-reproduce na maayos dahil may kaagaw sa loob ng katawan yung isang organism, may parasite. And diseases. Yung mga diseases na nagkakos ng deaths or ng impotence or yung walang kakayahan makapag-reproduce is another factor of environmental resistance that affects the biotic potential. Next one, yung abiotic factors or yung hindi dahilan yung mga other organisms kung bakit nagkakaroon ng limit sa biotic potential. Ito yung mga nasa environment natin. Example, climatic conditions. So, for example, extreme yung weather, masyadong mainit, masyadong malamig, walang mangyayaring survival of organisms or walang mangyayaring reproduction. Fire, nagkaroon ng sunog doon sa area. So for example, ganyan nangyari, magkakaroon ng low or death in population. Okay? And of course, yung temperature, ayan din, yun nga, kung gaano kainit, kalamig. So, meron niyang factors. And also, yung weather, okay? For example, malakas yung bagyo, so wala talaga magaganap na multiplication of species. Okay? Examples of environmental resistance. Some of the most common examples of environmental resistance include the availability of water and predator-prey relationship. Water is an important resource that producers need for growth. If the producers do not grow in an ecosystem, they cannot be sustained. Okay? Dynamics of predator-prey populations contribute to environmental resistance. For instance, if the predator population is low, we can expect that the prey's population is high and vice versa. Okay, unahin natin water. Okay? Pinaka-importante yan sa mga plants. So kung walang water, mamatay mga plants, manghihina yung mga dependent sa plants or primary consumers or predators. So, hindi sila makakapag-reproduce na maayos kung wala silang energy. Pangalawa ay predator and prey relationships. So kapag mas marami yung predator, lalaganap ang prey. For example, maubos ang mga snakes, lalaganap ang mga rats. Okay? So, paano naman kung yung prey yung naubos? Okay, for example, naubos na yung mga worms, yung mga dependent sa worms ay mawawala na rin ng resource. O kaya naman, lilipat sila ng bagong habitat magmamigrate para maghanap ng panibagong source of their food. Okay? So, when combined biotic potential and environmental resistance, we can analyze an ecosystem's carrying capacity through this graph. The carrying capacity is the portion of the graph in which the population plateaus. This is where the rate at which the replenished resource of an ecosystem is equal to the number of organisms being born. So makikita nyo dito, meron ditong line sa gitna. Yan yung tinatawag nating carrying capacity. Pag sinabi nating carrying capacity, that is the limit where an environment can sustain the organisms that are living on it. Okay? So, kapag ka lumagpas dito sa ating carrying capacity, that is now called as the overshoot. Okay? Pag sobra na yung dami ng organisms, kapag ka hindi na kinakaya ng environment na i-sustain yon, is what we call as the overshoot. One reason for the overshoot is when the reproductive lag time, the time it takes for the birth rate to decrease, and the death rate to increase in response to limited resources takes place. Okay? So, dumadami yung organisms, hindi naman dumadami yung nawawalang organisms. So, nagkakaroon ng overshoot na lalampasan yung carrying capacity ng isang environment. Do you agree that the overshoot of the carrying capacity happens right now? Okay? Diba? Sobrang dami na ng ating population, 7 billion. Although, almost 1 million na yung namamatay sa COVID-19, it is predicted na madadagdagan naman yung population because of the pandemic babies na tinatawag. Okay? So, magkakaroon ng overshoot in population because of that. Ngayon pa nga lang nararamdaman na natin yung competition with limited resource. Paano pa kapag dumami ng dumami yung ating population? Okay, so maraming effects yung mangyayari. When this happens, a population can collapse or die back since there are limited resources and space unless a large number of individuals migrate to other areas with more favorable conditions. When the population of the organism is below the carrying capacity, the available resources are able to sustain the needs of population. Okay? Ngayon pa lang, nararanasan na natin talaga sa Manila, di ba? A case of overpopulation na talaga tayo. Philippines is 103 million in population. Okay, so meron tayo tinatawag na density, di ba? Yung Manila is a highly densely populated city. Why? Bakit naman nasabing dense? Ibig sabihin, ang sikip ng area, maliit yung area, pero madaming naninirahan sa kanya. So nagkakaroon ng collapse or dieback sa population unless na magkaroon nga lang ng migration from that place to another, which happening right now, di ba? yung mga taga Maynila na doon daw nahanap yung trabaho nila. Now, they are what we called as LSI or locally stranded individuals. They are choosing to go back home instead of staying a lot more time in Manila because it's predicted na wala talaga mangyayari sa kanila if they continue to stay there. Okay, so there's a collapse or dieback in population. Now, if the organism is below the carrying capacity, the environment can sustain the needs of population. Tama naman, kung walang gaanong dami ng population, kayang-kaya talagang i-sustain ng environment yung needs ng organisms na nasa paloob niya. Okay? So that is what is all about biotic potential and environmental resistance. When we say biotic potential, it is the capacity of an organism to reproduce its own kind. While for environmental resistance, these are the factors that limit the biotic potential. Okay, there is a relationship between the two. If the population grows higher, the carrying capacity reaches its overshoot or yung sobrang pagdami ng resource environment. To prevent it, the population must be in the plateau area or must be lower than the carrying capacity. Now, if you want to learn more about our lesson, you can play the video on your flash drives, Animal Population, or you can access the link on your learning packet. Okay? You may also answer this values integration, learning the challenges faced by the different species due to biotic and environmental challenges they face. How are you being called as a Christian steward of God's resources? Okay, answer it on your learning packet. Now it's time for us to check how you understand our lesson. But if you still have questions in your mind, you can contact me during our consultation time, which will be the final for Thursday. But I will see you soon on the continuation of this copying of science from grades 3 to 10. We are done with Earth and Life Science, but we will go to the new science, which is all about physical science. Okay? But for now, it is the last time for me to teach you for this instructional video. And I am leaving you with this Bible verse. For us the animals, and they will teach you. Or the birds of the air, and they will tell you. Or speak to the earth, and it will teach you. Or let the fish of the sea inform you. In his hands is the life of every living thing, and the breath of mankind. Job 12:7, 8, 10. That's it for our lesson for the whole month of Earth and Life Science. I hope that you learn well from our subject, although I think you have a hard time taking up this. Pero sa tingin ko naman, marami kayong natutunan explore. And natutunan nyo rin maging yung perseverance, okay, yung pagtsatsaga, and yung pagiging active sa ating, kahit na nag-aaral lang kayo sa ating Learning at Home program. Once again, I am Mr. Rolly C. Franco. Thank you and God bless. Happy learning, Rowesians!